So we're gonna go ahead and run y'all through what we're installing, what comes with it, and what you need to install. First thing is gonna be the OEM headlight forwarding kit, which runs the OEM headlight forward so you can run flush with the Memphis shades fairing, the Road Warrior, or you can run the block for a bucket light on this bolt hole right here. And what you need for that is going to be these 2 bolts, 4 washers and nuts to run on the forks. You need the extended hardware in order to be able to make it all the way through without having any issues, and having space to be able to add the 6-inch light bar on the bottom side, and then run your nuts and washers onto that, as well as these 2 bolts with nuts and washers to mount your OEM headlight through this bracket to the OEM headlight. This is a 6mm Allen, which will be used on all the bolt heads, and then we have a 10mm Allen to remove the OEM bolts, and then we have a 4mm Allen to adjust the 6-inch light bar position. And we're gonna install these together as a set. All right, guys, hopefully we're in frame enough where y'all can see everything that's gonna be going on with this. So to start off, you're gonna wanna break loose your 2 10mm bolts that are here. We already took one out and have the other one just barely in for the sake of making this a little bit quicker and a little less painful for you guys. So we just take the last bolt out, and then we remove the bucket, and then we have our OEM headlight forwarding kit, which also forwards the bucket lights that you can get, and the bucket light will bolt on to the center hole. The OEM will bolt to the other forward mounted holes. So we're going to start by taking a washer and putting it on one of our extended bolts, or both of them, and then we're going to go ahead and run those bolts through the bracket. And these holes aren't immediately threaded, so you'll be able to just kind of let the bracket sit there without it really going anywhere, and then you just start to thread these bolts through. You get a few threads in. Again, these are stainless 3/16 stainless hardware, so it's very high quality, non-corrosive, which is a plus. But if you are going to be using any kind of impact or anything, you need to be sure to take it easy and go as slow as you can, because as I've said before on every video, stainless hates friction, hates speed, and they tend to gull up, and you definitely don't want to break off or gull up threads inside this triple tree clamp. So you do not need these if you're only going to be running the extended bracket. We run these extended bolts so that we have somewhere to bolt on our 6-inch light bar. So if you plan to get the 6-inch light bar in the future, or just like to have that option available for you, it's a good idea to go ahead and get the extended hardware. I'm just going to tighten that down a little bit, make sure she doesn't go nowhere. And these bolts are 6mm Allens. So that's what you'll be needing for this. You can use the traditional L style, or you can use this style. I prefer this one. I find it to be a little easier to work with. And now that we have that installed, we can go ahead and bring our other 2 bolts. And what we'll be doing with these is we'll be running them through the OEM headlight, just like that. And then we go ahead and place our headlight down here. We grab a washer and a nut. We go ahead and start to spin that guy on. These are stainless steel nylon locking nuts, so no need to worry about putting Loctite on them. These nuts are 13mm, and then you have the 6mm Allen key that goes up top. All right, and that's pretty much it. Now you're just forward enough to be flush with the outside of your fairing. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the 6-inch light bar kit, which is the light, the bracket, and it does come with the fasteners to do this with or without the OEM headlight forwarding kit. So you don't need this bracket to run just this, and you don't need this to run just the headlight forwarding kit. Install a washer and nut. Now we're going to take our 13 mil and tighten up those those nuts. All right, and there we are, tightened up, and now we can adjust our light wherever we like. If you live in a city where people tend to piss you off and you're gonna run this as an aux light, be sure not to run it up like this, because you will cause yourself problems. And then if you want to just kind of have better wide range on the road, especially if you're running those backcountry roads and stuff, you really want to be able to flood out the road and see out to the sides. Rule of thumb, I kind of just take whatever square is 90 to the floor and just tilt slightly down, and that should be good. We can then take our 4mm Allen, and you can use the L style, but these make it so much easier. And if you're gonna have a bike, this style, just the set of these style Allen wrenches are a godsend. So be sure to get some of those if you're going to be doing work on your own bike constantly. And now she's nice and sturdy. She ain't going nowhere, and she's good to go. Whether you want to wire to a toggle switch or run in tandem with your headlight, it's up to yourself. And we have a few other light options we're planning to bring to you guys, so be on the lookout for those. But for the time being, the night light option is the only one we have. You can buy this as a kit where you don't have to worry about ordering the correct light that fits with this. We hope to get a Memphis Shades here pretty soon. If we do, we'll be able to do a full install video of not just the headlight OEM setup, but the bucket setup, as well as setting up the fairing itself, to help some of you guys out there that would like a video of installing that fairing on this bike. Anyways, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video and it helped you guys out. And if you've been on the fence about it, didn't know how quite it worked or how hard the install was going to be, pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. We try to make all our products as user-friendly as possible. If you're on a bike, chances are you're pretty mechanically inclined anyways. So we have faith in you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, give us a holler, and we'd be happy to answer any kinds of questions you'll have on the product, on the install, or anything else.